So if you're
Yes.
getting mad at your animal's behavior,
Yeah.
I always say to people, just stop for a minute, back up, and look at yourself first.
Welcome to the Green Living Now podcast, where we uncover hidden toxins, surprising truths, and practical steps to create a clean, healthy, and empowered life. I'm Amy Tedisco Hartshorn, Green Living mentor, organic farmer, and upcoming TEDx speaker. And every week, I bring you conversations and insights to help you reclaim your health, your home, and your power. Have you ever noticed your pet acting anxious when you feel stressed or calm when you feel peaceful? On today's Green Living Now podcast, I'm talking with animal communicator Michelle Lowry about the surprising way that our pets mirror our energy and how we can learn to truly communicate with them. Michelle's journey from the corporate world to a life guided with animals is inspiring, and her personal story will give you a whole new perspective on your own animal companions. Michelle, welcome to the Green Living Now podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
I know you're an animal communicator, animal intuitive. Can you tell us a little bit of how you got into this work?
I can, thank you. It's a very interesting and weavy story. I've always been connected to animals. I've always been one of those people that sat around animals and was much happier than sitting around people. I'm very energy sensitive. I didn't
Mm,
understand it back then. I was more comfortable in the energy of animals. People were too overwhelming for me.
yep.
As a child and a teenager, if I was ever in a crowded space, whether it was a train or a room or anything, I would pass out. My body would
Oh
completely
my
shut down
gosh.
and I would pass out. And medically, nobody could find what was going on. Over time, as I got into this work and I got to understand energy, I realized that it was the energy of the people. And because I'm so sensitive, my body said, we're out.
Wow, that is
Yeah,
fascinating.
I've been in that space for a long time. I think when I moved over to the US in 1995 with my ex-husband, he wasn't my ex then, he's my ex now. But we moved over here and my whole life changed. I came from a corporate world.
Oh,
So from the age of
wow.
19 to 31, I was in corporate. Hated it, but I was good at my job and it made money.
Yeah,
That's the bubble we all grow up in.
sure.
But I've always been a bit of a rebel. And when we moved over here, I wasn't allowed to work for the first 2 years because I had no visa.
Oh,
I was here as his fiance. So I could be here legally, but I wasn't allowed to work. So
huh.
I ended up, after watching way too many soap operas and chat shows and eating way too many potato chips, I realized that life had to be better than this. So I started going to the local shelter. This is Maui.
How cute.
I ended up going to the local shelter and starting to walk all the dogs. And of course, I had to walk all of them and started to open me up into the animal world of living in the animal world. And then I got this amazing opportunity to work for free, to volunteer my time at a horse barn
Oh, wow.
where I took care of the horses, which I've done since I was 9. So I started to get immersed in the energy of animals again, where there weren't many people around. And I think
Right.
it started to open the doors. In 1999, I decided my marriage was done. So I decided to make a big leap of trust and leave. So I found myself an amazing apartment on a horse barn. And I moved my horse there. And I had 2 Rhodesian Ridgebacks at the time. And we all started to begin this brand new life. And then you have that 6 month period where life goes, we're going to throw you every horrible thing we could possibly think of
Oh,
and see
no.
what you do with it. It's like that awakening, the initiation into something different. So my dog Kobo suddenly got very, very sick and ended up after a major battle. He died quite horrifically. He was my first dog. I adored
Oh,
him.
oh
And
dear.
so I went through the medical world of how they dealt with all of that. They didn't help him. What I
Ugh.
found out later was they made it worse.
Oh,
And he died tragically, and he was only 7.
oh gosh.
And I was in a place where I had left my husband,
Oh
starting
no.
this whole new life. And in this void, I was a very empty shell when I first
Mm.
left him and this was all happening. And everything got thrown at me
Wow, that sounds like a lot of hard challenges all at once.
in a 6 month period. So then Kobo passed away. His son, who I had, Two
Oh,
weeks later, got very, very sick. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my second.
oh no.
I didn't. And I think he was younger and a little healthier.
Okay.
But I got launched. I know that Kobo launched me. The message he gave me was, you need to learn and show people how to do this differently.
So, had you been able to communicate with animals before this point, or was this the opening where the communication became
Good boy.
easier for you to access? Oh, how cute.
I believe I was not aware of it because I think when you live in the moment of your gifts, it's not a label, it's not a qualification, and you
So
just
you were
in it.
having these conversations with animals. You didn't pay attention to the fact that that was unique.
And almost we can all do it. And I've always said we all have the ability to
Right.
communicate. I feel that a lot of what I did was very sensory based rather than speak based.
I see.
So it
Okay.
was feeling. My initial introduction into consciously being aware of communication was all through feel and sense and knowing. So a lot of times people are like, I can't hear, I can't see, therefore I can't communicate. It took me a
Ah,
long time to see and hear. There was a lot of this work that had to be done and
yeah.
clearing and healing and resetting for me to be the channel that could come through my heart center, because that's how you communicate.
So that's a powerful point. Illuminate that a little bit more for folks that may not understand what that means.
So if you sit quietly and drop into your heart and out of your mind, so come out
Right.
of the Western world and into the natural world where it's all heart to heart and it's all feel, it's all awareness, it's all sensing. And if you go out into nature and you sit with your back against a tree
Mm,
and do nothing and breathe
yes.
and either close your eyes or look around you at what's going on, you start to drop into the vibration and frequency of the earth. And that's the vibration. I got the chills.
You're speaking my language here.
And that's the vibration and frequency of connecting to all living creatures. But very often we tend to limit it on some level to animals. And then we put a lot of pressure on ourselves that they're looking at us and we know they're trying to say something.
I've had that happen so many times. My dog Layla, who's sitting over here, and she'll look at me and I know she's trying to tell me something and I'm not always sure what it is, but I think if it's important, then I usually get the message somehow
Yeah,
from a more sensory perspective.
absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's what happens. They look at us and the first place we go is into our head.
absolutely.
And that's where we're not going to connect.
Right.
So once we
Exactly.
go into our head, we have disconnected and they get then stare like even
Ah,
harder because they're like, no, 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 don't go
oh,
up
come
there.
back.
Come down to here.
Yes,
So
yes.
so as you recenter and you come into your heart, which is a place that we're not in very often anymore, where people are relearning how to come into their heart. And as you come into your heart, however you are going to connect with a living being will
Mm,
start to emerge. That's what happened to me.
hmm.
And the first time I ever consciously felt a connection was after Kobo died. I was driving to my hairdresser, who was very intuitive,
Oh,
and her parents, who had passed away, used to hang out in her hairdressing salon. So she was very connected in that way.
so she was attracting people beyond for their hair.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this was
Yeah.
more than a haircut. And I was driving to her, and I felt this very strong electrical vibration in the front seat of my car.
Ooh.
And I'd never felt anything like it before, or I could not have been open to it before, right?
Ah,
Because that's usually what it is.
yes.
And I was beginning to expand and open at that point. And so all of a sudden, I felt this energy in the front of my car. Well, Kobo always used to sit in the front of the car.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So you're there. You're
Yes.
so he always used to sit there, and that was his place. And he came in a way that was undeniable to me. So I'm quite skeptical. I
Oh,
have to have
interesting.
things proven to me without a shadow of a doubt before I will tell anybody else that something is real, it works,
Yes, I hear you.
it's a thing.
Yes.
So he had to come in a way that I would undeniably know it was him. I don't know how I knew, but I knew.
Yes.
And then, of course, the tears came and I was bawling. And I got to my hairdressers. And thankfully, I think he set it up because now I had somebody to talk to
Oh,
about it that would get it,
oh, fun. Okay.
right?
So did you get a message specifically from him, or was this the moment of awakening?
It was the moment of awakening.
I
It was
see.
the moment of, oh my God, you're still around. Oh my God,
Oh,
you're
that's so
here.
cool.
Oh my God, there's something beyond the physical world.
Yes.
There had to be, undeniably,
Yes.
there had to be. So
Yes.
I was delayering, but my animals and other people's animals have always delayered me.
Huh.
I
What does
do
that
my
mean?
own, it's blocking me from being the clear channel that I've become
Ah.
today. Watch this
So would
way.
that mean dealing with whatever stuff you have coming up and clearing it?
That's mine.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving to Florida for a while, where this
Huh.
whole world emerged in a way that I could never have known was going to happen. I didn't move for any particular reason, I thought.
You felt called
I
there for
felt
some
called to
reason?
move. Life was yucky, and I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
maybe I'll go to Florida. But what I learned backtracking over time was that I've learned that if I get the calling to do something, I'm trusting in the unknown.
Yes.
And if I'm willing to trust in the unknown, why I show up somewhere gets revealed to me.
Mm. Okay.
Back to front. Normally you go because you're, oh, something is down there and I'm going to go to that. I have to go blind.
I had the same experience moving up to Vermont. I was living in Massachusetts with a former husband and our daughter, and I always knew that I wasn't supposed to be living in New York City where I grew up. I got out of there quickly. Then Massachusetts was my transition years, but then I knew that it was either Vermont or California, and I felt like California had way too many challenges, so I was okay, Vermont. I've been there for skiing, and I had no idea the amazing things that were going to unfold by living here. So I can definitely
I
relate.
love it. Yes. And I think that's something for people to trust in.
Yes.
We're too scheduled, we're too
Yes.
structured. And some people need that structure, but I believe it also limits us from everything else that is out there that wants to help us, guide us, support us, show us the way when we're lost.
Yes.
Um, and animal communication or tree communication, nature communication is our naturally born gift. We all
Right.
can do it. We can all get messages from anything that's out there.
Yeah.
And as you step into that harmony of energy with nature, those gifts that we have start to ignite again. And we
Mm.
start to remember this is not new to us.
Right.
You watch kids outside, watch kids with animals, watch kids with the elderly.
Yes.
They're in the present moment. They're totally in tune. They
Right.
don't doubt anything that they're doing. They speak unfiltered.
Yes. And I just heard recently this amazing statistic, and I don't know what the numbers were, but it was something wild. Like 98% of children have incredible creative potential. And then by the time we reach, I think it might even be teenagers, but definitely by the time we're adults, it shrinks down to something sad, like 2%. It was wild how different the way children live in the world is. And I know I even remember when my daughter was an infant and I was breastfeeding. I remember times where she would look at the wall behind us as though she was communicating with something. And I thought, well, that's so interesting. Who is she seeing? Is it a dead relative or whatever? I don't even know what it was, but I knew that there was something happening there that was beyond this world.
Absolutely. And animals will do it too.
Absolutely. Oh,
They'll do-
gosh, yes.
And sometimes we can feel them.
Yeah.
Another kind of tip or message for
Yes.
people is step into feel. Don't expect to hear words.
Yes. So a feeling meaning, so whether it's goosebumps or what would be some of the other
So
feelings
some
that
of
you
the
might get?
heart palpitations sometimes, anxiety sometimes, a sheer euphoria you're feeling. If you have your own animal companions,
Yes.
and they're resting like Maui is right now and your dog is
Yes.
right now, and you simply place a hand on them and close your eyes and breathe.
So that's one way of connecting.
You're going to plug in. And then the more you do that, they really are asking us to be present. They're asking us
Yes.
to slow down.
Yes.
They're asking us to put our feet on the ground. They're asking us to be where they are so that they can communicate with us. They can't do it when we're still in corporate mode or we're in the past or we're in the future or we're in chaos.
Totally.
Trying
And
to,
they pick up on our issues, right? Like if
yeah,
somebody's really anxious, won't the animal then take on some of that anxiety, for
yes,
example?
yes, thank you. They absolutely will reflect you. So if you're
Yes.
getting mad at your animal's behavior,
Yeah.
I always say to people, just stop for a minute, back up, and look at yourself first.
Yeah. So that reminds me of a fascinating thing. I used to have a horse who I adopted at the age of 4 months, never having had a horse before, much less trained one. And it was an unbelievable, magical, and crazy experience. And he lived for almost 17 years, which is very young to have passed away. So that was kind of a shock. But the point that I was going to make was that he would behave very differently with me than he would with my daughter and my husband. So with them, he was always testing them. Are you sure that boundary is really clear? And for me, I was very clear because I learned from the time that I got him that if I wasn't clear about my boundaries, I could get hurt. And so I didn't do it in an aggressive way, but I was like, nope, this is your space, this is my space. And I noticed how many times, especially my husband, who was so dear, to try to lead him back and forth on our organic farm because we would bring the horses down for different events that we had to entertain people and have them be able to pet them and give them carrots. He would have a lot more trouble with him sometimes than I would. And of course, he was like, oh, that horse is being an asshole. And I'm like, well, it's really something you're doing because you know cows, but you don't know horses. And so,
I love that. And I had a horse for, he was 27 when he passed, and I got him when he was 6. He was my, I always get emotional. He was my mentor, my guide.
I feel that way about Coco, my horse.
Unbelievable. And we ended up channeling a book together because I felt
Wow.
so clear that what he was teaching me was beyond traditional relationships with
Oh
horses.
my goodness.
We rode and we had fun and we did all of
Yes.
that, but he would encourage me to step outside of tradition and trust any intuition that I was getting around his care. And he, bit by bit, chipped away at everything that was blocking me, everything that was limiting me. He was tough, but kind.
Yes.
And he would put me in situations where he was inviting me to be, I'm going to cry now.
That's okay.
He was inviting me to be the person he knew that I was.
Oh, that's
That I
beautiful.
was I was hiding, I was not in my fullest energy,
Yeah.
and he was relentless. I mean, and he still is. He passed in 2019 and we're
Yeah.
still connected, but I remember a story one time I went out to the paddock to go get him for a ride, and one of the biggest things he taught me, for all you horse people out there, no agenda,
Right.
no time frame if you can, and
Right.
be open to your plans for what you're doing changing.
That's beautiful advice.
Two-way street.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street, and when we're pushing the one-way conversation is when you get problems because they block
Yes.
you. Hey, we're both living beings here. We both have opinions. And I went out to the paddock one day to go and get him, and he would not let me catch him. And this was
Oh, wow.
very unusual. Would not let me catch him, would not let me catch him. And rather than me stopping and standing and hanging out or going and doing something else and coming back, I was
Yeah.
getting madder and madder. I'd start running around with a halter and I'm like chasing him around. It was a huge paddock, chasing him around the paddock for some reason, thinking that was going to make a difference. And he'd stand there and he wouldn't let me get anywhere near him. And I'd stopped and I went, what are we doing? So I'd learned to ask him. And this was
Yes.
in the very beginning of our relationship, in the spiritual awakening. What are we doing? Because this is
Yeah.
not working for you or for me, clearly. And he said to me, go and find a feather. And from the animal communication place, I was so mad and so in the present and so frustrated that somewhere in me, I was open to whatever came through. There was no block there because I didn't
Yeah.
know what the answer was. So he said, go get a feather. Dude, this is a 5 acre pasture.
Oh,
How am
wow.
I going to find a feather? And I went,
Yep.
fine, whatever, I'll go find. So I literally walked, I don't know, a few feet. It wasn't that far away.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, thinking I'm never going to find this feather. And there on the ground is a feather.
Yep.
Pick up the feather, I turn around to face him, and I burst out laughing because I was so frustrated. I was so mad. I wasn't in the
Ah,
present moment.
so he shifted you out.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
In that moment of picking up the
Wow.
feather, I got it.
Yes.
But it had to be physical because I wasn't
Yes.
still hearing, right?
Totally.
And tapped in. So it had to be physical enough for me to go, oh my God, I get it. So don't look for the subtleties necessarily.
Well, so here's an interesting story that came into my mind as you were talking. So I have run retreats, and one of the highlights of the retreats is working with horses on the ground, no riding. And I've done this with two different horse people, one of them who I consider a horse whisperer, the other one who is a coach but has a lot more horse experience. And so I came to do a private session with this one beautiful big white horse named Freedom.
Wow.
And I had been through a tremendously stressful time. My daughter had had a benign brain tumor and she's okay, but it was a lot of stuff that we went through. And I had come back, and so I was pretty stressed out. And so I was going to go in to the round pen and do a session with this horse. And I already had horses of my own, so I was fairly horse savvy. But as I look to go inside the round pen, I see this big horse running around acting like a crazy animal. And I'm thinking, I don't feel comfortable going in here with him like that. And I said to my friend Janice, I don't really think I'm going to go in right now. She says, okay, turn around, put your back to Freedom, and let's talk for a minute. So we spent maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the most talking, and I was very briefly letting her know what was going on for me. And then I did some deep breathing and released it so that I wasn't carrying it with me. I turn around, and then Freedom's just standing there looking at me. And I thought, oh my God, I do this kind of work with other people. And here I am having this profound experience of my own. So I'm okay, I can go in. So I walk in. He comes over to me. I pet him. We're connecting. The next thing I know, he lies down on the ground and puts his feet in the air with a total vulnerability. I just got goosebumps thinking about that. I was, holy crap. We went from, I thought he was going to kill me, which I knew he wasn't. It wasn't his intention. It was just my energy that he was picking up on. And I shifted my energy to the point where he was, okay, I'm totally cool with you now. Absolutely magical.
And that's what it's about.
Yes,
I always say, is it bad behavior or communication?
totally. And is it something that they're reflecting back to get our attention?
Yeah, that's always been a tagline for me because they're trying to communicate. And because
Right.
we're so in the voice and
Yes.
animals are not,
Yes.
that
Yes.
they're into the body language. And horses are a great example of,
Yes,
just go out
exactly.
and watch horses in a field and watch how they
Yes.
communicate with each other.
Just
Subtle.
one little ear twitch is enough to communicate something to another
Yeah,
horse or a bunch of them. Yeah.
exactly. And that was one of the things Echo taught me, my horse, was volume. And so
Oh,
he taught me, and this is another great thing for people to be aware of,
yes.
is watch the volume of the body language. Watch the
Oh,
volume of
that makes sense.
the physical, if it's a dog or a cat and they're barking or they're meowing, where's the volume? Because
Right.
what Echo taught me was the volume means that we're not paying attention and they have to get louder.
Ah,
And if you watch horses in a field, they start with the flick of the ear, and if
yes.
that horse doesn't pay attention, then
Right.
the head turns, and then the
Yes.
head and neck turns, and then the
Correct.
body comes in, or from the back end, the swish of the tail, leave me alone, and then it
Yep.
escalates.
Yes.
And it's the same for us when we're not listening or we're trying to have a conversation with somebody and we're
Right.
not receiving, we get louder.
That's right.
So animals get louder by body, we get louder by voice. So there's a
Right.
mismatch.
Interesting.
So something that an animal communicator, she's amazing. She was saying, pay attention to how you are interacting with your animals from the perspective of, as human beings, what we say and what we visualize can sometimes be completely different.
Ah,
So if we're saying something, but we're visualizing something else, your animals are really confused. They're like,
which is it?
what do you want?
Yeah.
And the example she gave was a dog that's not allowed on the couch. And you're asking the dog to get off the couch. So verbally, you're like, get off the couch.
Yes.
But visually, you're seeing the dog on the couch in such
That's
a simple way
fascinating.
of explaining what we're capable of.
Yeah.
Watch your thoughts and your visions, because if they're different, then I went home and I tested it out. I have a dog back then who was never on a leash. He was amazing. He was my partner. He was my
Wow.
companion. He worked with me. He played with me. And he used to roam a little bit. And I always used to say to him, you don't need to come back, but give me a visual. I don't know where you are.
Oh,
Give me a visual. I need to see you, and then carry on
yes.
doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And we learned somehow that that worked.
That's
And if I
amazing.
whistled for him, and I had a very clear intention that if I whistled 3 times, he knew he was going to go on a leash and like, dude, you need to rein it in. I don't care if you're
Wow.
running around.
Yes,
Safety wise, I need to know you can come back when I ask.
that's
So
beautiful.
he used to go over to the neighbor's house when I had my house, and I would call him, but they fed the deer over there. So this was a free buffet for him.
Oh boy.
So I thought, I'm going to try this technique. I knew where he was. I closed my eyes, and in my vision, I imagined him sitting in front of me. So I was calling him telepathically.
Right.
I was calling him visually to come and sit so I could get him back from my neighbor's house.
Yes.
And I just sat there for a few minutes and I just didn't get mad. I stayed totally neutral and I envisioned him sitting in front of me. And I opened my eyes and he
And
was
there he
right
is.
there.
Oh my God.
So
Called him telepathically, basically.
telepathically, which showed me what we're capable of,
Right.
that we forget because we're so quick and we run such a multitasking life that it's
Yes.
easier to shout and scream for 10 minutes than
Right.
it is to stop for two and call them in.
Visualize what you want. Wow. That's so profound. I was
Um,
just looking to see if Layla was reacting to any of this. I have this question for you
yeah.
about her because I know we talked about this before we got on. This attachment that she feels to me. And I know a lot of it has to do with the craziness of what happened to her before she came to my daughter, and then my daughter having this brain tumor experience, and she was living with different people, yada, yada, yada. As I anticipate going on a vacation, I have all this stress around leaving her, even though she's going to be with my daughter. What can you tell me as far as how she feels about that and anything that I can do to support her before I leave, but even telepathically while I'm away.
And I love that question because so many people are like, my animal doesn't talk to me when I get back home. Why? Why are they mad at you? They shouldn't be mad at you,
Yeah.
right? Set them up. I remember when we were talking before the recording,
Yes.
the first thing that she said was, I'm fine. Like,
Yes.
I'm fine.
Yes.
We can also put our own wanting to do the best by into that energy field. And
Okay.
then they go, oh, well, if that's how you want it to be, then that's how I'll play it out.
Oh.
Right.
So even when I go out to the store and I see the faces of the two dogs as I leave, maybe my interpretation is, oh my God, they're so upset with me that I'm leaving, but that may be just my projection.
And if you linger your energy through guilt,
Yes.
through, I'll be right back, I'll be right back, and you have
Oh,
that kind of energy, then they have
yes.
something to feed into and they go, why?
Oh, that's perfect. Yes, that's so interesting because
What
a
do I
lot of
need to
times I'm
know?
like, I'll be right back. I'm just going to the store.
Yeah. So one of the things that I do with my animal, and everyone is different,
Yep.
all of my dogs, if I'm going out and the timing is there for it, they get breakfast or dinner on my way out. So
Oh,
I love leaving
so
them
they're
with
distracted.
not distracted,
No, it's not a
right?
distraction. Is it a reward kind of a
It's
thing?
giving them something to do as I leave. So I'm
Ah,
not like leaving and the door shut and they're going,
what
you know,
the heck?
that's what it is. My dogs are with me almost 24/7. So we can separate, but I'd like to
Yes.
say, here's this.
Yes.
I'll be back. So I do that, whether it's a chew toy, whether it's a bone,
Oh,
whether
so it
it's
doesn't have to be a full meal. It can be something because
something.
I figure if I fed them a meal before I left and I was gone for a few hours, I'd be worried that they'd have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, no. And they can go hours, honestly.
Yes. Yes.
They can. They really can. So some of it I feel with your relationship is wanting to make up for the past and making it better.
Yep. That brings me to tears because that's exactly true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say the past was the past.
Right. And I had no control over that.
You had no control over it.
Yeah.
And she knows she's okay. And you're creating her this beautiful life now where
Yeah.
she has everything that she could ever want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have to
Whew.
fix the past.
Yes.
You don't have to make the past better because you can't. It's the past. It happened,
Exactly. There's
right?
nothing we can do about the past.
And I honestly don't feel that she's got any trauma that she's holding on to
Oh,
from
good.
the past.
Okay.
I just got chills. I feel that she was on that journey knowing the journey she was walking on, the journey she chose when
Oh,
she came into the family. So they
Interesting.
know what they're signing up for, and I've been saying
So
that
it's
for years.
it's much like us that we've been told that our souls have a contract and that we've agreed to whatever the things are that happen in our lifetime. So it's obviously the same for them.
It's the same for them. I do
Isn't
have a
that
friend who's a
interesting?
very amazing animal communicator, and she said what she doesn't believe is that animals come in signing up for major abuse and abandonment
Right.
and trauma. She
Good.
said, I don't believe that any soul would choose that, and I totally
Right.
agree with her.
That makes sense to me too.
And
Because I
that's,
mean, when I hear of some of the horrific things that go on,
yeah,
it's hard to wrap my brain around.
yeah. So, that is what that is. And yet these animals have the amazing ability to, most of them, to recoup from that
Yeah.
and start again with a new family and trust again. It's a great lesson for humanity.
Yeah.
Like if we could just say that was the past and it was really horrible, but oh my God, look at this present moment and the future,
Yes.
and not keep replaying the past.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
Well, and it's interesting with her, I felt like I never was a small dog kind of person. I had a big lab as my first dog, and my daughter adopted her kind of, I think she told me the day she was going to get her. And then a week after she adopted her, she had this whole brain tumor experience. And then it became very clear over time that Layla was choosing me as her person versus my daughter. And she's been so happy here. And I'm so relieved to hear what you're saying.
yeah, and if you track back, your daughter was the one that adopted her and picked her out.
Yes,
Did she always know that she was coming to you?
she must have.
It's the stepping stone. Sometimes
Yeah.
people will adopt an animal or foster an
To
animal.
bring her to me because I would never have normally sought out a small dog.
And I
Um,
feel that she plays a much larger role in what you're now doing with your green living,
really?
and that she would love to be more involved in the message and what you're doing and bringing her and that whole canine world, like
Oh,
everything we've been talking about. It's almost like she would like to be the mascot.
Oak's dog.
I mean, she wants to be kind of, you're showing this all for people, and then
Yes.
she's part of all of that going, and it's for dogs too and cats.
Yes.
And so
I assumed that she comes down to be with me when I'm on my computer working because she just wants to be with me. But I think from what you're telling me, there's a bigger message here that I mean, she's totally soaking up everything that she hears.
yeah,
What role could I give her that would be satisfying?
she wants to be part of any pictures of you that you put out there. She wants to be in the
Oh,
photograph
oh,
because it
wow.
sends a bigger message,
That's beautiful.
sending the message that this is animals too, not just people. I would say that anytime dogs like any animal likes to meditate,
Yes.
when you sit and meditate, or if you do shamanic journeying,
Yes.
ask them to come with you and give you a message. That's amazing.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah. And it
Okay.
opens up the communication because you're in non-ordinary reality, so you're more
Yeah.
open to receive.
Yep.
And that can come again, it can still come through in any one of your senses, but you're starting to build a relationship where you go to do something for your business and something in you says, I don't think she feels that that's good, or that's not a good connection, or this is a really good connection, because they feel. So
Yes.
anytime that you're in that feel place with your business and what you're doing and the message you want to get out there, I feel like she's going to be like, do this, or you may not want to do that, or turn around and
Wow.
do
So she's
this
an
way.
advisor.
100%. Yeah, she wants to be
That's
fully
beautiful.
engaging in your work.
Is that true, Layla? You want to be my advisor? Oh, she just looked up. I have to bring her over now.
There she is.
There's Layla.
Camera
She's a
shy.
little sleepy now.
Yeah, camera shy.
Sorry, I'll put you back in your spot.
But
Oh
it's
my gosh,
amazing
that's so beautiful.
the wisdom. There she is. Now she's
Oh
engaging.
yeah, she's sitting up.
There we are. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Layla. I will consult with you for sure.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
Aw.
There's your confirmation.
Oh, that's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and it's amazing because it will take everything to a whole different, level. All of my animals that I've had in my life,
Yeah.
whether they're in spirit or they're here, have all engaged and guided me and supported me. And Sometimes they want to be in photographs and sometimes they don't.
So interesting because there's a beautiful picture of my horse and me, neighbor friend of mine who's no longer here, unfortunately, took that I didn't even realize she took. And she found it a few years ago. And it was just such a beautiful moment of connection and energy from both of us. And so I was using that picture for a while on things, but now I'm going to take some good pictures with Layla.
And I would say also that one of the ways that animals in spirit will come to you
Yeah.
is that way.
Oh,
They're wanting to make a connection, and sometimes it takes somebody else going, here's a picture of the two
yes,
of you
yes.
together, right? And that's actually your horse going, hey, I want to be part of this too.
Right. Well, and somebody else who was an animal communicator told me that he has played a big role in my work. I mean, and he played a legitimate role as far as I think I told you when we would have food festivals on our organic farm, we'd bring him down with his companion, who was a little miniature horse, and have them in a pen so that people could interact with them. I wanted to feature them. And I think he really enjoyed that for the most part. And then it was kind of sad with COVID. He didn't really have the opportunity to connect, although the neighbors would all come visit. But I felt like once we no longer had those events, it was not as much fun for him.
Now you can bring him back into the picture.
So I should put that picture back on my website. I
Picture
do
of
have it
the
on the website still, I think. I have to double check now because I think somebody told me they saw that picture and they really connect. It might be on the page where the retreats are because of the work with horses. I know you had a freebie that you wanted to offer. Would you tell us about that?
I do a lot of meditations. I have a YouTube channel called Guided by Animals. And there's tons and tons of videos on there. Some are
Okay.
drumming with horses, because I do
Ooh.
that too.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and then I recently put out a meditation. It's got my miniature horse actually on the
Oh,
front, and it's about grounding and transforming.
nice.
And it's appeared to be popular, and it's right there. It's a meditation, being out in nature, reminding yourself of who you are as your unique self.
Ooh, I'm going to link that in the show notes so that people can find it.
That's kind of the freebie. There's a ton of other meditations on there that you can scroll through, pick a meditation and listen to it.
Wow.
Everything's nature animal based in everything I do because I want to expand people
Yeah,
into that world of everything.
that's beautiful. And so for people to contact you directly, what's the best way?
Probably by email, nicotherapies@proton.me
I'll put that in the show notes. That
is the best way
I
to
think
get
you
a
spell
hold of
Nico
me.
Niko.
Nikoe.
Nikoe. That's right.
Yeah,
I'll
so
put that in the show notes.
that's the three animals that got me into my work.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Michelle, this has been fantastic. Is there anything I didn't ask you that I should have asked?
No, I've really enjoyed this whole conversation. I feel that for people listening, that maybe this is new, or people listening that this isn't new, but this has just opened up a whole other area of a footprint. Be mindful of what's going into and on your animals, and to
Yes,
know that there are some good options out there that are much more natural and much healthier, and that
absolutely.
you can alleviate any toxins from the body just like you can with people, and let our animals be vibrant, healthy, and clean, just like we're wanting to be. And then the
Yes.
harmony and vibration of the earth is going to change.
And I think that's the big picture. It sounds like you're working towards that in the work that you do, as well as me. For me, it was always this vision of I knew what we could be doing and I knew how to get us there, but it's a matter of sharing that message far and wide. Thank you so much for all that you do and for this conversation. This has been beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning into the Green Living Now podcast. If today's conversation sparked something in you, a new question, a fresh insight, or just a reminder of what really matters, I hope you'll pass it on. Share this with someone you care about, and be sure to follow the show so you don't miss what's next. You'll find links and free resources at greenlivingnow.com. Until next time, stay curious, ask questions, and keep living green.